like what you said because it made me think about it differently. I don't think it's as much pressure as stress. I think it's probably more stress because, and that stress is what's kind of focusing me.
But I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Tell me again your theory on pressure, or what pressure means to you.
Yeah, and when you were talking about this, it made me think about procrastination and how I'll kind of use it to my advantage, right? And, it's good and bad, but personally, I'm ADD, I'm jumping around, my mind's going everywhere. So if I know this paper's due at 11:59 p.m., if it's 2-3 weeks before, there's no real pressure, there's no real stress, and I don't feel that that need to get it done. And I might start it and kind of half butt it and not really put my full effort into it. But if I wait till I got 2 days left or a day, man, I'm looking at that computer and there's nothing that could distract me. But I like what you said because it made me think about it differently. I don't think it's as much pressure as stress. I think it's probably more stress because, and that stress is what's kind of focusing me.
Yeah.
And then it also leads to if I don't have enough time or it's not going well, now I'm overwhelmed. Now it's not. Now that stress or that pressure's hurting me.
And I operated, nobody's perfect. I operated a lot like that in my first couple years of college. And what I found with operating under the procrastination method is, like for example, you're waiting to the night before to get something done, and then you're typing. And back then wasn't really computers. It was kind of a computer. It was a word processor. It had the little screen and whatnot. And all it would take is at midnight when you're typing something out for your ink cartridge to be done, and then holy shnikes, now it's due at 8 a.m. and like now you got to quickly borrow your buddies or go to somebody else's house. Like the product probably has greater potential to not be as good, even though you focus well under pressure. At that point, like you didn't leave yourself enough of a buffer to do what you want to do. So I learned and what I do, and Richie and I had this conversation about reading. I read a lot more now than I ever read when I was younger. Warren Buffett talks about reading 74 hours a day or something like that. I don't have that kind of time, but I guess I should because that guy's ridiculously successful. I block out some time every day to read, and I also every night, not every night, 6 out of 7 nights, I start my list of things to do for the next day, the day before, rather than getting up in the morning and trying to do it, because that's there's things that'll pop in your head throughout, and we do that. Richie, actually, today's topic, if something pops in your head, write it down, right? And then that way you can circle back to it later. But so okay, I'd like your honesty in that.
Yeah, but so in high school I could kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
College I had to adjust it, and I would I'd lie to myself pretty much. I'd put it in my notes or my phone like a week before, or at least a few days before. I'd write that it's due. And, that night I'd sit down, I'd stress about it, I'd go online to turn it in, and I'd be like, oh, it's not due for another week. So that's how I learned to kind of manage that and put it to good positive use.
Yeah.
Because then, if I'm halfway done, I'm not
Right, lie to yourself. Yeah, man, get things done. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. Because no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.